All right, welcome back. Choking on water here. David Oates is at it again. He has been churning out speech reversals for several days now. I don't know why or where he got all that energy. He must have got some of those pills that they're giving Joe Biden to get him up out of his casket in the morning. How did you do it?
Oh, I don't know. I think, well, I just got well again. I installed the ionizers in my house, as you suggested, and within a couple of days I was feeling right back to my old self again, and itching to get reversing. So I just sat down and started reversing.
That's great. Great.
Yeah, so I got through 4 or 5 evangelists and the head of the Mormon church and Farrakhan and Hillsong, and then I did Gates and Schwab and Rittenhouse. I did him last night because he was on Fox. Still researching for my next book, Every Secret Hidden, which is all about, well, I was going to say religious fundamentalists, but it's more than that because it's sort of about religion across the board, a New Age movement, and what I'm finding. So, yeah. Hey, I got some disturbing reports coming out of Australia that I want to tell you.
How unusual. How strange. What a shock. Golly gee.
Yeah, I thought you'd be quite surprised to hear this. None of this has hit mainstream news yet, but there's whistleblowers from the Army coming out. Now, as I say, this is unconfirmed, but I'm hearing it from several different sources that the military are rounding up Aborigines in the outback,
They're taking them to the camps.
Taking them to the camps. Yeah. And there's been a couple of military officers, soldiers come forward saying they can't, they're whistleblowing, and their conscience won't allow them to stay silent. So how true that is, I don't know, but I'm hearing it from.
I have reports here too. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's rather scary if that is indeed happening, and. Because, Australia's history with the Aboriginals is just atrocious. I mean, they were slaughtered en masse in the 19th century. And even in the 20th century, in the 1950s, they were taking half-caste children out of away from their families and putting them in homes, and just the treatment of the Aboriginals by the Australians is just absolutely atrocious. And that history just doesn't get out, and it's not taught much, And
they're on the way out, David. They want them to go away. They don't want them around.
Yeah, I know.
The Chinese will probably barbecue them and eat them.
Yeah, well, what China's up to is anybody's guess. So every news I see out of China just makes me cringe. I've had nothing in the collective unconscious reversals the last few months about anything that's happening in the future, so I've got nothing to report there. I'm sure that, as always, the future does come out in reverse beast when it's significant. So nothing yet, except for a continuation, of course, of the vaccine and the mark, which is a constant theme. Right. However, let's begin by looking at, seeing we talk about the mark. Let's start with Rittenhouse. And
let me ask you before you start. What was your take on that? How did he come across? Everyone here is basically raving about it. They're very impressed with him.
Oh yeah, I was very impressed with him too. It was an excellent interview. He was, for a lad of 17, he held himself and under composure very, very well. His reversals were all congruent, totally telling the truth, and they came across as very genuine in forwards. You didn't really need reversals to see what this guy was on about. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I think he's got a bright future for himself, this young man.
I agree. Well, he represents in some ways the best that was America, and still could be, but it's going to be a tough row to hoe. So, well done. If he had also shot 3 blacks, he wouldn't have been acquitted. We need to remember that.
Yeah, I know.
So, but thank God he's out, and let's go. Go ahead.
All right, so here's the first one I'm going to play.
Where were the police? I'm not sure really, because they have a hard job, for sure.
Now he says, the killer rushed on me.
The killer rushed on me. The killer rushed on me. The killer rushed on me.
Which is exactly what he's saying. The guy came out and said
exactly right.
Wow. So yeah, he's just telling in reverse what he's told in forwards. Okay, so totally congruent. And then he says this.
What, do you think he was going to shoot you? I did. He had it pointed directly at my head, and that's when I shoot him one time. And
he says, "Murder shall not stand."
Oh, murder shall not stand. Oh, murder shall not stand. Oh, murder shall not stand.
In other words, this guy's going to kill me. I'm not going to let him do that. Murder shall not stand. The killer
that
rushed
speaks.
on me.
Listen to the fabric of his subconscious. He's really put together well, that young man. Wow.
He is. Yeah, let's play that clip again.
What, do you think he was going to shoot you? I did. He had it pointed directly at my head, and that's when I shoot him one time. And oh, murder shall not stand. Oh, murder shall not stand. Oh, murder shall not stand.
Yeah, there he is. So, So, quite straightforward. Okay. And then we got this one.
Apparently, a lot of people on the left, it's criminal to want to protect your community.
Do you feel like your life's been destroyed by this?
I feel my life has been extremely defamed by it. I don't think I would be able to go out and get a job.
He says, defeat your mission.
Defeat your skin. Defeat your skin. Defeat your skin.
And I just think he's saying, look, I've been hindered by this.
David, I would suggest that young man will have more job offers than he could ever even confront.
I totally agree with you. As this next reversal says, this one.
This is not the life that you planned, obviously.
No, it is far from the life I planned. This is...
And he says, you won.
You won. You won. You won.
Yeah, there he is. He won. Won. So he's happy. He's smiling as he says the reversal. And the last one I'm going to play is this one here. This is about Joe Biden.
What did you make of the President of the United States calling you a white supremacist?
Mr. President, if I could say one thing to you, I would urge you to go back and watch the trial and understand the facts before you make a statement.
That's not a small thing to be called that.
No, it's actual malice, defaming my character for him to say something like that.
Then it says, quite politely, dumb, you may feed in the cell.
Dumb, you may feed in the cell. Dumb, you may feed in the cell. Dumb, you may feed in the cell.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, he calls him dumb. I would have said something a little bit stronger than dumb, but anyway. So there you go. So there's Rittenhouse, a guy totally innocent. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, so let's see we're on the political. Let's move to Bill Gates. You asked me to do Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab. So let me get up the Gates file. Bill Gates, where are you? I can look at some of Farrakhan either today or tomorrow. Bill Gates. Okay, alright, so here we go. Bill Gates from 2 weeks ago.
That I bring a view that if you orchestrate the innovation in the right way, that we can get to zero.
It says worries are at stake.
Or is this big? Or is this big?
Oh, well, hang on, look. Okay, alright, look, let me go back on this then. Look, I heard this as worries are fake, but Jeff has got worries at stake. But so I went with Jeff's version, but I just heard worries are fake. So, let me just play it again. It's either worries are fake or worries at stake.
Or is this big? Or is this big? Or is this big?
You know what? I don't think it's either. I think
that's a tough one. I don't hear either one. I hear kind of a composite of both.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's either. Let's throw that one out, guys. Okay, and that's in the scrap pile. Okay, all right. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Here we go.
Well, the degree of outsiders to influence what goes on in China is easy to overestimate across any issue. But climate is a tragedy of the commons issue. That is,
it says we shit in it.
We shit in it. We shit in it. We shit in it.
I wish you could see the body language on that.
Well, the degree.
He looks just, it's his whole expression looks like he's doing exactly that. So, well, let's work out what that means. Let's just look at the forwards again.
Well, the degree of outsiders to influence what goes on in China is easy to overestimate across any issue. But climate is a tragedy of the commons issue. That is, we shit in it. We shit in it.
Okay.
We shit in it.
Okay, look, you're talking about climate. I think he's talking about the atmosphere. I think he's saying we're polluting the planet. There you go.
It's exactly what he's saying. He's saying we are shitting in our own nest box. We're crapping in our climate. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. And this next one's probably saying the same thing.
But they'll have to change their steel plants and their cement plants. And, I do think they're taking it seriously. They reduce local pollution faster than any rich country ever did.
This hearse gonna get burdened.
Yes, first, then it gets burdened. Yes, first, then it gets burdened. Yes, first, then it gets burdened.
Yeah, look, it's the same thing. The hearse, the climate is going to kill us. We're headed for trouble. That's what he's saying. He's congruent. Wow, gee whiz. I wasn't expecting Bill Gates to be congruent, but there you go. Okay.
This kid has, I wouldn't call him a clairvoyant necessarily, but he has a real solid subconscious mind and a sense of where things are going. He's right on the ground. He's got his feet glued to the ground. This kid is very impressive. Very impressive.
Which kid you talking about?
I'm just thinking back about Kyle Rittenhouse, so I'm still hung up on that.
I was playing Bill Gates. I'm going, what?
No. Gates, yeah. I'm just thinking about Kyle Rittenhouse. And how do you produce a young man like that in a society like this? I don't get it. It's a fluke. It's a fluke. Now Gates reversals, what do you think?
Well, he's congruent so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next one along.
And we may have to make trade-offs in terms of our relationships with China and decide, okay, what are our priorities and what is realistic.
Simply says it's silly.
It's silly. It's silly. It's silly.
Means by it's silly. Let's get the forwards again.
And we may have to make trade-offs in terms of our relationships with China and decide, okay, what are our priorities?
Trade-offs relationship with China, it's silly. Yeah, well, of course, everything we're doing with China is silly. China only unleashed a deadly virus on the world and changed the whole bloody planet, and we still let them sit down there and we're doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
Of course it's silly. Anyway, don't get me going on that.
I wouldn't blame China exclusively for the release of whatever was released. I think they played certainly an integral part in it. But this was a multinational effort by the global elite, in my view.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yep. Okay, next one.
Now, somebody's going to pay more for electricity. Policies around that will be very complex. But the climate movement has to be realistic.
Mock, you're of evil, evil bad.
Mock, you're of evil, evil bad. Mock, you're of evil, evil bad. Mock, you're of evil, evil bad.
Don't know. It's quite clear. Is he talking about himself or is he talking about climate change? It's a little bit difficult to determine exactly what he's talking about. Well, that's the last one on Gate. So there you go.
Nothing really earth-shaking from Billy Boy. Sorry to say it. I think you ought to keep after him occasionally.
I will keep after him. Yeah.
And by all means, stay after Fauci. Little Lord Fauci, the greatest mass murderer in world history. The guy is untouchable. Untouchable. So please stay after him. You get a chance.
All right. So here's Klaus Schwab. Okay.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the moment of the birth of the Global Shapers community very well. Back in 2011.
Dream lots of cash you want.
It couldn't be any better. Wow.
What do you say? He's in this charitable organization and we're hearing that. So,
he's not in any charitable organization. They're all false fronts.
Yeah,
they don't mean anything.
Yeah, well, you can tell that by the reversal. There we go. Next one is a bit weird, but anyway.
So I wanted to give them an opportunity. I wanted to use the power of the World Economic Forum also for the benefit, and particularly for the benefit of the young generation.
I don't know what this means. A wolf human, not your love.
A wolf human, not your love. A wolf human, not your love. A wolf human, not your love.
A wolf human, not your love.
Who knows what that means, unless he's just saying, look, it's all a front. This is not what I really like. This is, I just want money. That's the only thing I can think of. So,
with you.
I don't know. And then we've got this one.
But momentum grew very quickly because the idea had got, let's say, the support of the young generations.
It says opposite, yes, stealth.
Opposite, yes, then. Opposite, yes, then. Opposite, yes, then.
No, the first word is auspices. Auspices.
What's auspices?
Like auspices? Oh, it's an old Australian word. It's an Aboriginal word. No. Hold on, let me get the formal definition for you. Dictionary. I want to get it right here. Dictionary.com. It's the first word I'm telling you is auspices. Auspices.
sure you're right.
Yeah,
let's just play it. We're looking it up.
All right, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Well, plural is auspices, and augur of ancient Rome. It's a noun. But let me find this came up on the wrong. Hold on. Origin of the root word is auspex and turns into auspices or auspices.
Okay.
Latin, one who observes birds, a soothsayer, a diviner, equivalent to you get it. He's a diviner. He thinks he's he's a psychic. He's whatever.
That was
He's a great leader.
Stealth. Auspices, yes, stealth.
Auspices, yes, then. Auspices, yes, then.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Auspices, yes, then.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure.
You're absolutely right. Okay.
He's a soothsayer.
Well, I'll be. Well, there you go. And then the last reversal.
So it's a big change today. The young generation is much more tuned into this fast, exponential development of change which we have in the world.
Need newish bomb.
Need newish bomb. Need newish bomb. Need newish bomb.
We need a newish bomb, a new kind of bomb.
New kind of bomb.
We need a newish bomb.
There you go. So he wants lots of cash. Okay. He's being stealthy, and he wants a new bomb. So what that's got to do with the World Economic Forum, I have no idea. What he's got planning is anyone's guess, but you're right. The World Economic Forum and all of that is just a front for something far deeper, is what I would say.
Far deeper. Yes, indeed. You want to go through the break? What do you got?
Oh, no, we won't. No, you do the break. We'll come back after with reversals on the head of the Mormon Church. Okay?
Very good. Stand by. We'll be right back with David Oates, live from what's left of Australia. Next. Okay, back with David. The reverse speech. All right. Onward. These are interesting.
Okay. Now, as your regular listeners will probably be aware, I've been researching for the last year for my next book, which is entitled Every Secret Hidden. And it's all about the religious fundamentalists, televangelists, New Age movement, and other religions. So it's an expose. Well, I didn't know it was going to be an expose until I started finding all the reversals, and I realized, it's going to be an expose. So this week I looked at a couple of new ones, and first one off the bat is Nelson. Oh, what's his name? Russel Nelson. That's right, Russel Nelson. He is the head of the Mormon Church, and they believe he's a prophet of God to the world. Okay, so let's see what this prophet spirit has to say about his mission.
All right, I'm ready. All right.
Okay, so here's the first one.
As you know, we are performing major renovations on the historic Salt Lake Temple.
Okay, that's important. Okay, we're performing major renovations on the Salt Lake Temple. And he talks consistently in his speech about their magnificent temples. I'm saying that point for a reason. Anyway, Russell says, I'll make their loss.
Make their loss. Make their loss. Make their loss.
Okay, so whatever he's doing is not for the good of the church. What the activities he's involved in is going to cause more harm than good. Now, why is that? Well, the reversals tell us as we continue on. Okay, so here's the next one.
Thus, in the house of the Lord, we can make the same covenants with God that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob made. And we can receive the same blessings.
Well, I don't think I want the blessings he's receiving, because Russel says it's hell mess the beast.
It's hell mess the beast.
It's hell mess the beast. It's hell mess the beast.
Not very nice at all. Okay?
It's hell mess the beast. Hell mess the beast.
Beast, the beast, Satan. The blessings they are receiving are not from God, they are straight from hell. Let me play it again.
Thus, in the house of the Lord, we can make the same covenants with God that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob made. And we can receive the same blessings.
It's hell mess the beast.
It's hell mess the beast.
It's hell mess the beast. It's hell mess the beast.
I only hear, the beast, it's singular, it's the beast, it's the big man.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Now, these next two reversals are the most important ones, and they tell us where the Mormon Church is going wrong, and why they're going to make a loss, and why they're receiving blessings from the devil. So, here's the first one.
Temples have been part of this
Okay, I want to point out, he's talking about the magnificence of their temples.
Temples have been part of this dispensation from its earliest days. Elijah committed the keys of sealing authority to Joseph Smith in the Kirtland Temple.
Here he says, release the sick.
Release the sick.
Release the sick. Release the sick.
You hear that?
Yeah. Release the sick. There's no K on sick. It's cease.
Oh, really? Oh.
Take a listen.
Okay, I'm open to being wrong.
Joseph Smith in the Kirtland Temple. Release the sick.
Release the sick.
I hear it, Kay.
Yeah, I hear it. No, I hear it now. I hear it now.
Yeah, no, I hear it, Kay.
It's short.
Okay,
it's a short. It's clipped.
Okay,
I got
the
it.
sick. Okay, hold that reversal in your mind, because this next one is related to it.
The fullness of the priesthood was restored in the Nauvoo Temple.
Russel says, better sell off.
Better sell off.
Better sell off. Better sell off.
So, the Holy Spirit is saying to the Mormon Church, liquidate all your assets, sell everything you have, and take care of the sick, and poor, and the downtrodden. Now, I Googled their assets. They are worth at least $100 billion. If they were to follow the commands of Christ, which is to sell all they have and give to the poor, they would solve America's poverty problem overnight. And I want to say this very, very clearly. Reverse speech is the voice of the Spirit. And this is the message of the Spirit to the Mormon Church. And I say this I'm being very serious. I'm going to play it again.
The fullness of the priesthood was restored in the Nauvoo Temple.
Better sell off.
Better sell off.
Better sell off. Better sell off.
Now, why should they better sell off? To release the sick.
Temples
wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Maybe there's a more pedestrian interpretation here. Better sell off because the end of the line catastrophe is at the door. Time to sell off, get your money out, to hell with the rest of them, and get ready to survive. Only the strong and the prepared are going to survive. Maybe that's it.
That could be so too. But when you look the two reversals together, that's the commands of Jesus, to sell all you have and give to the poor. So I see the two reversals, release the sick, better sell off, as God's command to the Mormon Church. Sell all you have, liquidate your assets. There we go.
Got it. Well,
that's what I believe.
Yeah. Remember, the Mormon Church is very much dedicated to helping their own. So that makes sense.
Anyway, there we go. That's the message of the Spirit of the Mormon Church. Anybody want to place any bets on whether they'll listen to it?
Too funny. Yeah, sure.
All right. Here he's talking about their rituals.
Now, we use individual disposable cups. The procedure changed, but the covenants remain the same.
Yes, they can damn you.
Yes, damn you. Yes, damn you. Yes, damn you.
Actually, I can't hear the can. Jeff said, I had it as yes, they damn you. Jeff said it was yes, they can damn you. Let me play it again.
Remain the same. Yes, damn you. Yes, damn you. Yes.
I don't hear no can in there.
No, I can't hear a can either. Anyway, yes, they damn you. The rituals that they are performing are not saving them, they are damning them. He's making them lost. He's leading them into hell. It's hell, mess the beast. All their rituals are damning their congregation. Okay? And the last reversal.
God, our Heavenly Father, wants you to choose to come home to Him. His plan of eternal progression is not complicated.
More cons in show.
More cons in show. More cons in show. More cons in show.
So there you go. That's the head of the Mormon Church. And I guess I've just lost a few Mormon friends tonight.
Well, it's hard to say. He honestly doesn't have the bearing or the countenance or the strength of voice to head the Mormon Church. He sounds like kind of a front man, just doing what he's told. That's what it sounds like. I don't know how the church structure works, but are you impressed with him?
No. Not in the least. He's boring and
lightweight. He's a lightweight. That's what I'd call him.
He drones on, but he has very negative reversals, and I'll state it again. Reversals are telling him to liquidate his assets, and feed the sick, and to stop all his rituals and covenants and everything they're doing, because it's damning the congregation. Okay? And it's all a con. There you go. That's it. What can I say? All right, let's move on. Who shall we look at next? Let's look at Pastor Jeffress. Now he's on TV a lot. This guy is the head of the senior pastor of the First Baptist Church in Dallas. Okay, typical Christian sort of guy. Clean living. He preaches from the Bible, or his version, I guess. And he's on TV quite a lot. I see him on Fox News. They bring him in a lot to give opinions. So I thought, okay, well, let's have a look at him. Okay, so here we go. Where is he? Here we go. Pastor, I think it's Robert Jeffress. I'm not sure. Jeffress. Okay. So, let's start off with this reversal here. Here we go.
Hebrews chapter 10 verses 24 and 25. Paul said, or the writer says, let us consider how to stimulate one another to faith and good deeds, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the habit of some.
It says, we guess you've conned.
Yes, you're con. Yes, you're con. Yes, you're con.
That's very clear. We guess you're conned. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. All right, then he says this.
We need the stimulation, the encouragement that comes from other believers. But, I have to be the first to admit that local churches do have some serious flaws.
You fooled with them, you surf it. You fooled with them, you surf it.
You
know what? There's no EDs.
No. The last word is serpent.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. I was about to say serpent. You fool with them, you serpent.
Various flaws.
Wow. Whoa. That is his spirit talking to them, to his conscious mind, okay? That's the voice of his spirit saying, you're fooling them. You're a serpent. You're leading them astray. Wow.
It's when the subconscious takes shots at the conscious mind like that. That's very big. That's very serious business. That guy is an arch fraud. What major religious figure have we seen yet that is not an arch fraud?
We have not. We have not
seen one. I don't remember any. No.
There's not. Well, we had that humble street preacher. Do you remember?
Yeah, that one kid on the street. Yeah, okay, that was it though. But I'm talking about organized, big money, big corporate, the whole thing. No, they're horrible, horrible people.
They're all death. They're all, well, here, this reversal sums it up. They're all Antichrist, I tell you.
Oh, am I mistaken in that one?
What's happening? All right. Hang on. Okay, look, that's my 15 minutes, okay? So let's stop. Sorry, I accidentally played a client tape. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so this one here. Oh, look, I wish you could see body language. This body language on this is classic. Let me just play it.
Let me say that again. The preservation of our nation for the proclamation of the gospel depends upon the effectiveness of local churches, just like First Baptist Dallas, fulfilling its mission.
Now the reversal says, send the death. And as he send the death, he holds his hand together in the shape of a gun. And he shoots his audience and bang, the gun recoils. It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic, body language. Anyway, send the death.
Send me death.
Send me death. Send me death.
Okay? So he's
I can't. What is he, David? I'm sorry. What does he say?
Oh, you can't hear it? Oh, I'm sorry. Send the death. D-E-A-T-H.
Fulfilling its mission.
Send me death. Send me death. Send me death.
No, the middle word is not the. I know that. The middle word is not the or the, and I'm trying to figure out the last word. Let's try that again.
Well, we'll throw it out then if it's not clear enough.
Well, let me give me another shot here.
Okay, here we go.
Send me death. Send me death. Send me death.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I hear
it sounds like he says meth in the center. Meth. And then head. The last word is hat or head. Send meth head. Send meth hat.
Send me death. Send me death.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's clear enough for anything.
No, it's send meth hat. It's there, I think. Anyhow.
Anyway. All right, next one. Here we go.
You know, the fact is, no local church is any more effective in fulfilling its mission than its pastor in fulfilling his calling.
Satan, your live wolf.
Satan, your live wolf.
Satan, your live wolf. Satan, your live wolf.
That's who he's preaching. He's preaching
Wow.
Satan. Satan is his motivation. He's fooling his audience. He is conning. This is.
More than that, David. He's betraying them. This is horrible.
Yes, it is. It's not good at all. These are really bad reversals. And then got this one.
To exhort means to come along and encourage in a positive way.
Jerk, meaning all the muck.
Jerk, meaning all the muck.
Jerk, meaning all the muck.
In other words, he's just preaching a load of rubbish. He's a jerk. He's just talking out of his rear end, basically. And
right.
Satan is his god. Here's one I haven't played. Let's do a couple more yet. Listen to this one.
Apparently that's all right with Barna, since he says the essence of Christianity is the development of people's character. Spiritual transformation or even intimate worship, he says, does not require worship service, but a personal commitment to the spiritual disciplines.
Subverse the show, we argue.
Subverse the show, we're all here.
Subverse the show, we're all here. Subverse the show, we're all here.
Argue may not be very clear, but subverse the show, yes. It's sabotage. He's doing everything he can to destroy his audience. Then, this is the last one. This was from a 20-minute sermon he gave. Actually, it was quite ironic. The sermon was entitled "America's Only Hope," and all it did was talk about how pastors should leave the church. I'm thinking, what on earth has that got to do with America's last hope? So anyway, so here's the last one.
Some people like to point out 1 Corinthians chapter 5 that we looked at a couple of years ago, where Paul was criticizing the Corinthian church for not disciplining one of its members.
You blanket, I kill you.
Jeez. Hey.
I know. And there you go. There you had Pastor Jeffress, head of the First Baptist Church in Dallas, a televangelist, a TV personality, head of the Bible College. He is leading a whole generation of people straight to the gates of hell. That's exactly what he's doing. Of course, he won't listen to me. He won't listen to the voice of his spirit, because his religious beliefs are stronger than his belief in God. That's a pretty bold statement.
No, you know your stuff. And you notice how these people, all they have to do is become familiar with the Bible and know how to pull these various quotes out and throw them, because I guess it somehow impresses the masses. I guess it's pretty creepy, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just really very, very disturbing. And I hope this book, Every Secret Hidden, gets picked up by a major publishing house. I really do, although I doubt
it should. It should, David. It should be. You're taking on $1 billion business here. That's what you're doing. It is $1 billion business, and you're threatening it. So you need to be careful. You know.
Yeah, I know.
I know that book is very worthy of being picked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not done with it. No, you're not.
No,
done.
I'm not done. I'm still researching. I'm not quite ready to put pen to paper yet. But gee whiz, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. The public, America has got to realize that the churches that we are following are leading us straight to hell. They are not following the teachings of Christ. They, I don't know what they're following. But they're, well, yes, I do. Parts of Jeffrey's reversal said it. Satan. And finally, I don't know whether I believe in actual Satan or not, but certainly maybe I do. Satan, your live wolf. That's a pretty heavy verse. Never play that one again, because we're almost at the end. Let's just play this last one again. Satan, your live wolf. This is who his God is.
You know, the fact is, no local church is any more effective in fulfilling its mission than its pastor in fulfilling his calling.
Satan, your live wolf.
Satan, your live wolf.
Satan, your live wolf. Satan, your live wolf.
And I want to also play again one last reversal again, which is the message of the Spirit to the Mormon Church. Where did it go? I've forgotten his name now. Here it is. Yeah, this reversal sums up everything that every church should be doing.
The fullness of the priesthood was restored in the Nauvoo temple.
Better sell off.
Better sell off.
Better sell off. Better sell off.
Is he anticipating the end of organized religion on the scale that it has operated for such a long time? I wouldn't be surprised. Better sell off.
Yeah, we'll see.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I think they've hit their high water mark, all of them, frankly.
I think you're absolutely right. Yep.
So we'll see.
Okay.
David, wonderful. All right, David will be back with us tomorrow night, first hour, with more reversals. So look forward to that on Thanksgiving Eve tomorrow. Talk to you then, David. Thank you for everything.
All right.
As always.
See you then.
All right.
Thanks. Okay.
Take
Bye.
care.
See you.
Okay, and let me a day early, I guess, wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving wherever you are, and each day is a blessing. Don't forget that. We will talk in 21 hours. See you then.